You were right. These books are ACOTAR in Scotland with werewolves. And if you think you don't like werewolves, hold up a second. I'm going to convince you otherwise because I did not think that I liked werewolves. It was giving Twilight. It was giving preteen Gabby, who used to write I love Edward Cullen on all my notebooks and folders in big, bold bubble letters next to my crush because I thought it was cool. That is a true story. I used to do that in 6th grade. But here is why spicy werewolves are for you. So to set the scene, because this is important, the audiobook is duet style narration, meaning that the FMC and the MMC each have their own voice actor, and the voice actors are freaking phenomenal. I think I've discovered my new 2 favorite male voice actors because in book 2, there are 3 voice actors, okay? 3. I can be quite picky about voice actors. Like, I'm listening to Direbound right now, and I finally started to like it, but it's literally because y'all convinced me to keep going. Up until about 20% of the way in, I just could not do it because the MMC voice actor narrator sounds like a freaking action figure doll, and he uses the same voice for everyone. So I can be pretty picky. But in The Wolf King, oh, you just have to trust me on this one. Okay, we're getting off topic, but why werewolves? Because they're literally feral. There's a feral part of them. The wolf that lives inside of them is feral. For the FMC, my cat is destroying things. She's walking on the table, knocking things over, and she's just watching me as I tell her to stop. Classic. Okay, but this was a feeling that I had the first time I read ACOTAR. The first romantasy book I ever read where the fae were like literally feral, animalistic. I was like, oh my god, what is this? Why do I like it? But there's just something about kind of that like raw emotion that will have you sat. It will have you saying, ha, I wish I had a werewolf in real life. Don't judge me because this is going to sound absolutely wild to the people who don't read romantasy. And to be honest, a few years ago, if you were to tell me that this was in a book, I would think it was weird. But we're trying to be open-minded, okay? That like feral part of the wolves and the fae, something about their hearing and their scent and their like senses being so good, it's just attractive, okay? Because the fact that they can like hear when people's heart rates pick up, they can smell and scent their fear, they can scent, a lot of different things about these people, they can sense it. Just ups the tension and the yearning. And I'm a sucker for it, okay? I do need to come clean about something. I do enjoy love triangles, okay? I think they're fun. Do they cause pain for the reader and the character? Yes, they do. But I like when the characters in the first book are not already, getting down with each other. And they do. There is spice in this first book, and it's probably one of the best spice scenes I've ever read. But I like when they're, dragging it out because that's part of the story is the romance. Who's going to end up with who? How is their love story going to develop? In all these romantasy series where they get together in the first book, I'm like, okay, we've already destroyed the tension and the yearning, and now I'm not as invested in the romance plot. I know some people don't like to read incomplete series, but I think it's kind of fun because you get to engage in all the predictions with everybody and be excited about the next book release with everybody. So that's why you should read The Wolf King right now. Also, my virtual romantasy book club is reading The Wolf King in September. There is information in my book club highlights and on my website. I have a whole page dedicated to it. We have tons and tons and tons of members. Several people have met up in real life and attend events together. I was not expecting to do a little promo there, so let's get back to The Wolf King. This year, The Wolf King, The Night and the Moth, and The Road of Bones are my favorite romantasy books that I have read. So that is saying a lot, because I've read over 65 books now this year. But now, spoilers ahead, because we need to talk about my thoughts, predictions, guesses for book 3. And yes, I will address the question, am I Team Callum or am I Team Blake? And let's actually start out with that. I'm Team both. And I know that a lot of people are Team Blake. I don't quite understand it yet. I don't see it. I don't know why we're so gung-ho for Blake, because he really has not done anything for Aurora other than use her and manipulate her. I understood Aurora at the end of The Night Prince when she has this kind of internal monologue and she is thinking to herself. She doesn't know if she can actually trust Blake because she finds out that they're mates, which, whoop whoop, surprise surprise. Girl, how did it take you so long? It was so obvious. Everybody around you knew. At least in ACOTAR, it was not clear to every single person around them that they were mates. But Blake and Aurora, I was like, girl, come the freak on. Why are we taking half the book to figure it out when everybody's acting weird around you two? Anyway, at the end of The Night Prince, she has this internal monologue and she is thinking, is the only reason this guy has any sort of feeling for me, is the only reason he's trying to protect me because we are mates and we're bonded. And if I die, he dies. Like, that is very valid because part of me thinks that that is the case with Blake. Also, Little Rabbit, come on, guys. Come on. Little Rabbit, imagine right now, imagine a man calling you Little Rabbit. Well, this other man is out here freaking worshiping you. Yeah, you're probably gonna think the guy calling you a freaking little rabbit is a little bit strange. Honestly, he's giving creep a little bit. Then again, it is romantasy, and I know he has a softer side because of course he's gonna have a softer side. Elsie, Alfie providing them refuge, but at the same time, like, he's got his eye on the throne. I don't know. He's just giving really ambitious. He, to me, is like a truer villain than Rhysand is in ACOTAR. Why was he one of Knight's prisoners? And I don't immediately want to jump to these horrible conclusions. Maybe he did something. Maybe he took somebody else's place. At first, I was very suspicious because Knight's prisoners are really, really bad based on every single thing that we have seen and read and heard in the book. But at the same time, Yala, the goddess of the moon, is in the night prison. Why is she in the night prison when the wolves really admire her? And they say that the sun goddess is the vengeful one who helped get Yala locked up in Knight's prison. So why is Blake in Knight's prison? How did that happen? Does he actually not have a soul? Can somebody clear up the end of book 2 for me? I listened to it 2 times and I'm still a little bit confused because he traded his soul to Knight. So does he not have a soul right now? Because if he doesn't have a soul right now, but then did Knight give him back his soul when he offered to help Knight, give an army to Knight? Why is Blake doing that? Is it because he had no soul? Is that why he offered to give Knight an army? So many questions. Hopefully we'll get answers in the next book. But I do have to say, I like Callum. He is flawed, but it is realistic. He recognizes his flaws. He knows that they are there. Is he extremely protective? Yes. He is also a wolf. But it's not like Tamlin, where the choice was so obvious between Tamlin and Rhysand. At least for me it was, because at the end of ACOTAR, I literally gave the book a 3 out of 5 stars because I was like, this guy Tamlin, he is red flags. Why are they together? They cannot end up together. This man has some anger issues. So I do like Callum, and I feel heartbroken for him when he discovers that Aurora and Blake are mates, and I do wonder what's going to happen. I think if you have read the Infernal Devices, it's a YA series. It was my favorite series when I was younger. It was the start of my love for the broody, morally gray man. I'm guessing we're gonna get a situation similar to that one. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't even know how many books are going to be in the series, so I should just stop yapping because my predictions are not making sense. But if you have read the first 2 books and you have predictions, I would love to hear them. These books, The Wolf King, The Night Prince, they're just good vibes, and I cannot wait for book 3.